The Chicago Sky try to stop losing today when they take on the New York Liberty, a team in which they beat before in a very close and tight game. We're going to get into it all and more right after this.
Welcome to Chicago Sky Central, and here's your host, Haize.
What's going on, Sky fans? Welcome to another episode of Chicago Sky Central, your number one spot for everything Chicago Sky related. Stevo and Haize in the building today. The Chicago Sky are at home today when they take on the 7-2 New York Liberty. But in those two losses that the Liberty have, one of those losses are to the Chicago Sky. Stevo, how you feeling coming into this game?
It's gonna be a tougher game for sure. They're not gonna play the same. They're not gonna shoot the same because that's the main reason why we beat them is our defense was so stifling and they wasn't shooting the ball good enough. Benaja was off. Brittany ended up finishing with like 15-10, but it was more towards garbage time. Jaquel was in foul trouble, so like we really neutralized them, and I just don't expect that to happen again against this quality team who've been in the finals before. So I'm expecting a way more difficult game. It's going to be tough, and this team we got to be way more sharper. We got to be way more sharp. I said in the last game we got to be sharp, and because we wasn't, that's the reason why we lost the game. So coming in today's game, we got to be even more sharper than we anticipated to be last game because this is the real deal. Like they've been winning ever since we beat them for the most part. So we got to come in knowing that they're gonna give us our best. Yeah, I'm confused. You hear me? I'm good.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Can you see me?
Yeah.
Everything's frozen on my side, I bet. So if it's working right, I'm not gonna worry about it. But listen, this, like you said, past success is not going to guarantee success in this game. The Sky are going to have to come in and execute their game plan, and that's what we need to see from the Chicago Sky in this game against the New York Liberty. It's good that we got Camilla. It's good that that Isabel Harrison. It's good that we got people that are fully healthy, in this game, and we need all these ladies because we're going to need depth against a team like the New York Liberty. But we're going to have to get physical with them again, and they're going to get physical with us. And if the Sky really want to try to pull this out to get back to 500, it's going to have to come through them executing, trusting their defense, and then we got to play smarter on offense. Like the offense is left so much to be desired in some of these games. We just got to play smart and intelligent offensively, and I think we'll be okay.
Yeah, and that's the main thing I didn't bring up. Hopefully everybody's playing tonight. Hopefully Diamond's back because it's time that we need to start getting and see what this team look like when we fully healthy. Camilla is back, so that's a positive with everything. So with Camilla being back, Harrison and Isabel is slowly going back into the lineup and everything coming back. We need Diamond to play tonight. We need Diamond to be healthy. We need everybody to be healthy. We need all hands on deck against a team like this today. So for the most part, it's a we got to do what we got to do. We got to straight up do what we got to do. Like I said, I think this game is going to be extremely more tougher than it was last game, and they ain't going to play with us. So we need all hands on deck, all hands.
Yeah. I mean, you're going to have to play smart. You're going to have to stay out of foul trouble. That's another thing. Stay out of foul trouble and hit your free throws. We're one of the worst free throw shooting teams in the league, especially with how physical games like this are going to be. You got to be able to hit your free throws. You got to be able to.
Got to. Yeah, like we was a free throw away for going into overtime.
Yeah.
Got to hit your free throws. Turnovers. We've been high in turnovers in every loss that we had. When we take care of the ball, we win the game. When we move without the ball, we win the game. It got to be a whole lot of that today. It can't be like last game where coach been screaming since the third quarter. Y'all got to move. Y'all got to move. It can't be that today. We can't. These are the teams we cannot be stagnant against. Against the Fever, you could be stagnant and play terrible and almost win the game because they're not that good. This team is. Jaquel, I doubt Jaquel getting foul trouble the way she did last game. Is it possible? Yes. But coming from that veteran team who's done it all, seen it all, besides win a championship, some of them, they're not gonna fall for the same things. They read their scouting reports. I'm pretty sure they watched the same game last night and this morning. So they're gonna learn from their mistakes, and we got to be able to learn from ours as well.
That's 100% fact. You gotta learn and adjust. And I want to see a team that has the mental part of the game locked in. Like, you got to stop with, like, and I don't want to act like it's been something chronic, but like between Marina Mabry sometimes letting her not getting foul calls get into her head sometimes, Kennedy Carter last game, you gotta have the mental part of this locked in, and you got to be able to trust. You got to stay locked into to basketball because we have talent, and you got to trust your talent. And that's the thing that we need to do in this game, like in a game like this. You got to come out here. You got to trust everything. And the way that they're going to try to attack you, especially in the teeth of the defense, is going to be important. Like, and I'm glad that we have our depth there because we're probably going to need it in a game like this. Camilla, got to stay out of foul trouble. Isabel Harrison has to stay, be able to stay in the game, and then we need Elizabeth Williams and Angel Reese to do what they do best, and that's do a lot of the dirty work. So in a game like this where the defenses are both going to be locked in, I'm going to be excited to see how the Sky play in transition, especially with Camila Cardoso being out there. And when we get out in transition, her ability to run and keep the pressure on the defense is going to be big as well.
Yeah, like that was one of the main things that was kind of irritating about the last game. I felt like we didn't play our game. It's almost like we played the Fevers game and they played our game. They was getting up the court and penetrating the lane. That's us. They was the ones shutting down the middle and playing the passing lane. That's us. That's our game. That's our style. We was sitting here trying to get into half court, and we ain't been the best half court offensive team. We do our best offense. We could get half court once we're in groove, but how we get in groove is like we always say: defense, getting turnovers, transition buckets. And now that we got a doggone galloping stallion coming through there, it should be even more. Y'all got a last game. It was including Angel. There was a lot of jogging on fast breaks. That cannot happen no more. Y'all are one of the most athletic teams in this league. You have to go full-fledged take off on them, especially when you have somebody like Kennedy Carter on the floor. Kennedy be beating y'all down the court times 2. Y'all got to meet her there. Because some teams actually get back in time to play solid defense, and y'all don't use the 3-on-4. Y'all don't use the 2-on-1 because y'all not running with them. Y'all got to run the floor.
Yeah, and that just goes back to picking apart and being intentional about how you run your offense. And this Sky team sometimes can default into, I don't want to call it hero ball because that's not really the thing, but they into one-on-one basketball. And that's not what you want to do, especially not against a team like the New York Liberty. You're going to have to play smart. You're going to have to be think about it and be intentional how you move the ball around, especially if your three-point shots not falling. Now, if our three-point shots falling, we've seen it before, that opens up everything for the Chicago Sky. But I don't think we're ever going to be one of those teams where we're just shooting up a bunch of threes. But if you can take the smart threes and hit that at a decent rate, that's gonna make your offense a lot easier on the other side as well.
Yeah, like I mean, I don't know because maybe now, because even with sometimes with Dana, I feel like there's sometimes she should be pulling that trigger to shoot, but it was during those times where we wasn't necessarily dominating the boards like we should have. With Angel, I don't know what the starting lineup is going to be, but with the possible starting lineup could possibly be Angel and Camilla, that can lead to more shots. Coach allowing more shots to go out because they know they're going to get the rebound. So the possibility is that we might end up, we still not going to be a super high volume shooting 3 team compared to other shooting 3 teams, but I do think we're going to get an uptick in the 3-point shooting just because we got the people that get the boards.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely a possibility. I mean, the thing is that we're a rhythm 3-point shooting team. It seems like when a one gets in rhythm, then you start getting another one. And then, if Kennedy, Marina, Diamond can get in rhythm shooting threes, and I don't need them to be crazy. We're just talking about like if they can shoot 35, 36% and above from threes, it seems like we start getting in the rhythm overall. And even if Isabel Harrison goes out and hits a couple of them as well, but that always helps with how the dominant bigs that we have when you look at it and how physical they are. All you got to do is provide that little bit of spacing that gets the defense to have to guard you out a little bit more, and we'll see, man.
Yeah, but it's definitely gonna be a motherfucking game tonight. Like y'all cannot expect it to be the same way. I'm gonna keep saying that because I think a lot of times we get comfortable, and you see it in the game. We get comfortable too many times, especially when we have leads. This is not a game where you get comfortable. If we come in and we get a lead, we got to stay on it. We got to keep the pedal to the metal. We got to keep our foot on their necks. This is not a team you will want to hang around because they got more experience than you, quite frankly. They got the coaching experience and they got the team experience. Been to the finals. Jaquel has been to the finals on other teams. So it's going to take everything. R-Dub just tweaked me out with his whole comment. What is you talking about remix to Addiction?
What is R-Dub talking about?
It's about, I need that remix to Addiction. I saw that and it just threw me completely off. I'm like, what do you mean?
Bro, R-Dub is he already said that he had 2 blunts pre-rolled, bro. So like,
and a beer, don't forget,
and a beer. So like, yeah, R-Dub already he showed exactly what type of level he was coming in here, and what type of vibe he was on. So I wish I could say I'm surprised. I'm not. He's out here living his life. That's all I can say.
As long as you in the house, you were good.
Yeah.
He said, yo, Haize Stevo, that dude who brought up on periods the other day,
it turned out to be
crazy.
I don't even remember who said it. I remember somebody saying that. I don't even remember who it was. That was another head scratching thing. People just be saying dumb stuff.
Anything.
Who's the X factors tonight, Stevo?
For both teams?
Yeah.
I'm always gonna say Benaja for the Sparks is always gonna be an X factor for her
playing the Liberty.
If she playing on the Liberty, I mean, she whenever she has a good game, they win. That's just the thing. So if she's off, 9 times out of 10, they're gonna lose. If she's on it, it's gonna be a tough way to beat them. So I'm gonna say that for her. Tonight, I'm gonna say I'm gonna say the bigs as a whole.
Okay, that's not a bad pick.
I'm gonna just say the bigs as a whole because I'm looking at Elizabeth Williams. She gotta have a way better game than she had. She was terrible. She couldn't. Her defense was off. Her offense was off. She was making stupid fouls that's very uncharacteristic about her. You need to do the reason we won last game is because Jaquel couldn't get nothing going and she was in foul trouble, and Brianna Stewart couldn't score. If you could do the same thing, and now that we got Camilla coming back, that's why I say the bigs as a unit, they the X factor. If they can hold that down, I think we have a good chance of winning this game again.
Yeah, the rotation that we have at the bigs, it's just such a luxury when you look at having Angel, Elizabeth Williams, Camila Cardoso. Like, these are all women who get physical. They're going to go after rebounds. They're going to get block shots. They're going to get all of that. You add into that Camilla's ability to run up and down the court, man, that's crazy. But I'm looking at today, I need to see the bench overall play productive, man. And we know Kennedy is always going to be a threat to go off and score. But outside of that, like, our bench at times looks like it has such a good balance, right? Because we mix in, I don't think we ever really have more than 2 or 3 bench players in there at a time, mixed with some starters. But this is a bench that if everybody plays, and this is kind of what I said in last game as well, if everybody just does what they do well, like, that's all you got to do. We're not asking anybody, now that we're fully healthy, we're not asking anybody to play outside of what their strengths are. And because of that, you just got to do what comes natural to you. Move without the ball, communicate on defense. This bench for the Chicago Sky has such a nice balance of offense and defense. Well, most of the offense is coming from one player, unless, we know that if Lindsey Allen gets hot shooting wise, she can go off too. But like, we just need that balance from this bench, because you keep that pressure on, and that's how you wear a team down like the New York Liberty, is that even when your bench players come in, we keep a certain level of play and expectation. We got to do that, especially defensively.
And I know how critical you've been with Michaela Onyewerde, and I think that's when now she's going to, like I've been saying, she's going to go back into the role that was meant for her. We're not going to be asking her to score as much. Mainly, she's there to defend, she's there to get rebounds, and she's there to make shots, make that open three that we going to have. She got to be ready to kick out for, and I think that's a key. She might be a key to this game that nobody's realizing. Just because if we get Diamond back and everybody's coming back, she's going back to her natural role.
Yeah, that's a fact. And going back to that role as well, and it's not that she can't score. We know that she can score. She's put up
Yeah.
points before and things like that. But that's not her primary. That's not even her best asset and attribute. And so you need Michaela Oniwerde to just play within herself. There are going to be times where she's going to get a quick 8 points. There's going to be times that
Yep.
happens. And I'm not mad at that ever when that happens. But on top of that, of all that, you still got to just be prepared. And defensively, we need her. We need her to be physical. We need all these things from Michaela Oniwerde, and she's capable of it. And like I said before, she's those former rookie of the year expectations and stuff. I'm not even expecting her to come in here and be that. But you're a role player that understands and can execute your role extremely well. We've all seen it. Just go out there and do that. Do it consistently, and we're gonna be good, man.
We're gonna be perfectly fine. And I think that's it's gonna be a shocker to people because people forgot that. Like a lot of those early wins was because she was in her natural role and she was just doing what she had to do, getting quick layups, making shots, especially the first 2 games. But like I said, now that NZ was in and out, Diamond was in and out, especially Diamond, we needed more out of her. And she didn't step up to the plate, which most people don't. So like I said, going back to that natural role, and as a unit, we should play a whole lot better. Lindsey Allen, Kennedy Carter, and I like that. I mean, y'all already know. I don't. Like I said, I'm not necessarily ready to say Dana shouldn't be the starter, but like, cause it's just. I'm at the point where I can see it work with anything. If you want to put Kennedy there, I can see why you're doing that. If you put LA there, I can see why you're doing that. Clearly, I see why they're doing with Dana. So I think we're just like that's a good issue to have with the point guard situation.
That's a fact. That's a fact. And yeah, I know you don't overlook Diamond this year. It's like Diamond just gotta get back in rhythm. She just gotta stay healthy, which when she missed last game, it wasn't because of her body, it wasn't anything because of the former injuries, because she had food poisoning. So but
Diamond, so
Diamond,
that's what he was talking about.
yeah, a Diamond DeShields that gets back, that plays the way that we know and that we've seen her play before. It puts so much pressure on opposing defenses, man. So much pressure on defenses. So
yeah. But if you really want that pressure, if you put Diamond next to Kennedy, Lord, like, yeah. I can I ask you this? Are you shocked that because coming into the season, we kind of felt like, especially with everything being so new, that Coach Spoon was gonna experiment with the lineup. She hasn't really been doing that.
No, I think she kind of figured that she used training camp, she used the preseason games, a little bit that was there to really figure out and settle in on a rotation. I think Coach Spoon has her rotation. I don't think she's going to experiment too much in it. I think once Camilla's off a minutes restriction, we'll see her go into the starting lineup. And at that point, I think that's probably going to be the biggest change that we see. I think Dana Evans, don't get me wrong, is up and down as she's been offensively, and sometimes she takes bad shots. She's still that defensive pit bull, and she brings the defensive edge that Lindsey Allen can bring at times. Kennedy has an edge. She's an active defender, but she's not the on-ball defender that a Dana Evans is. So I think those are why you see that rotation be what it is. I think that's fine. You just, and I also think you don't want to tinker because the WNBA season is so short and preseason is so short. If you feel confident in your rotation, you want to let them go through their lumps and bruises so they can come out on the outside of that, on the other side of that, better. And they have that continuity in that rotation. So I think that's why you see Coach Spoon not really change too much. And I wouldn't be surprised even if Camilla maybe stays coming off the bench even a couple of games after she's off a minutes restriction before Coach Spoon really looks to make a permanent change there in that starting lineup.
Yeah. But yeah, I just want to see what this team will look like with just LA starting one. Give her one. I just need to see that. Because like Dana can control the game when she wants to. But I think I just want to see somebody with the pass first attitude that's gonna be their main contributor, especially being next to Marina. Because it's like they kind of be search, like I said last game, they kind of search for shots in the same area.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and that is true there. And I think neither one of them has been consistently in rhythm either. So maybe she's waiting to look to see once they both hit that stride and hit that rhythm consistently, maybe they can find that balance there. But I know you've talked about Lindsey Allen starting, and I understand why, as far as the balance of like somebody who a point guard that can actually set it up. But I think we've seen Coach Spoon be confident in this, and that's kind of just what it is at this point. So we'll see.
Yeah, it is what it is. I trust the coach. He know more ball than I do.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Any last thoughts, Steve, before we get up out of here?
No. Sorry for yelling at y'all, but some of y'all need to be yelled at. Right.
Listen, we family. Sometimes we're gonna yell at each other in the comment section. They go yell at us. Sometimes it is what it is. But most importantly, we want to see the Sky win, succeed, and get these dubs. And that's the most important thing in all of this. So, but make sure you guys stay tuned in. Hit that subscribe button if you're not subscribed. C-Dub will be on the live call today with Kev and Stevo will all be there with them. So y'all make sure y'all stay tuned in with them if you want that live call during the game. And we'll be back for the post-game show as well. Make sure you guys are following us at Chicago Sky Pod. You can send us any feedback, questions, comments, concerns, Chicago Sky Central at gmail.com. And then lastly, if you want to leave a text message and our voicemail, 773-270-2799 with the #1 spot for everything Chicago Sky related. We out here. We'll see y'all post-game show. Peace.